yes, 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 yes. I'm a big weirdo. I'm a big weirdo. Yes, 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 yes. I'm a super total weeb. I'm a super total weeb. I'm a cosplay inspector, an autograph collector, a franchise dissector, a merchandise detector. I broke my tent to be first in line. Crowdfund investor, love of adventure. I'll finally meet every idol of mine. Franchise dissector, merchandise detector. Yes, 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 yes. You're a big weirdo. You're a big weirdo. Yes, 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 yes. Join this weird fandom with me. Join this weird fandom with me.
I may not be a 10, but I'm a natural 20. I was lonely back then, here I am one of many. I can't wait till the time when the weekdays are gone. Got a goal, don't wait up, heading straight to the con.
Yes, 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 yes. We're all big weirdos. We're all big weirdos. Yes, 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 yes. And we'll make this one a hit. We'll make this one a hit.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, scream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geekenders.
Yippee!
Yippee!
I'm still yippee pilled this many months later.
With Tim's Winnie the Pooh. Oh, we can't see your
That's
Tims.
me. Hello. Oh, sorry.
Timmy the Pooh.
Oh my God, that was so scary.
That's so good. Timmy the Pooh is great. Hold on.
Timmy the Pooh.
I do have questions though. 1.
Okay.
Why are you at the pool? 2. Why do you bring your Tims to the pool? 3.
Listen.
Yeah.
I suffer for fashion, baby.
I just think it's weird that you went to the pool and instead of having swim trunks on, you took your pants off but kept your shirt on. It's a weird vibe, man.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes people aren't ready for the next stage of style and fashion, but I'm here to be a trendsetter, and I'm here to show that sometimes hog out tank top with your name on it and Tim's with the beanie that's the wave. Maybe that's the wave. I think it is the wave.
This is the same tree as the forefathers being wearing sunglasses inside.
What?
Yeah,
impractical fashion choice, but still definitely a fashion choice.
No, I see the vision. Yeah, people wore sunglasses inside so that I could be hog out at the pool.
Exactly. Their eyes look like that, so your feet look like that.
What do you mean forefathers? You mean just randos?
Those who came before. Those who came before.
I thought you meant like,
pool.
hello, it's me,
like
General George Washington.
Yeah, wearing sunglasses inside. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson wore sunglasses inside so that I could be hog out at a pool in Japan.
That's what I was told. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
So how are you? I'm so glad you came back.
No, he wants to keep going with the bit, Jesse.
I'm so
please.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, the bit is done.
Yes.
It's done. I can't keep going. I just had questions about the pool, but I have determined it doesn't matter. It's either because it's you, there's only 2 options. 1, anime related, or 2, porn related. That's it. There's no other options.
God, you soul read me so easily, Jesse. That's fucked up.
I'm just saying. I know. I understand.
Just search for what is it? The pool room. I think it's just
why.
No, I'm all right.
I think it's just.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, just search. Hanazono room. That's what it's called. It's
the
just called
Hanazono room.
Yeah, it's got a name.
No, I'm all right. I don't want to go look it up and find like this is where 12 people were murdered, and I have to wonder about you and be like, Octo, what are you?
Yeah. No, it's nothing like that. It's just a famous pool.
It's the pool that they filmed the most amount of porn in.
Well, yes, probably, but also it's in other stuff too.
Chad is saying it's Kamen Rider. Is that Kamen Rider?
There is definitely a lot of like toku shows that have filmed at this location. It's so funny because
why is this pool? This pool looks like the pool that your great uncle Belvedere would have in his penthouse loft in the middle of downtown New York, and he only goes up there to get his his soak on. He sits in there.
He's get his soak on, and he would say that to me. He's like, "I'm gonna go get my soak on."
Yeah, but then eventually, for whatever reason, it was claimed by the state, and then someone else moved in, and they decided they didn't want a pool, so they put a bunch of concrete inside of it. But then you took over eventually, and you were like, "I'm gonna put it back to the way that it was," and you find treasure down there.
Are you blueprints posting right now?
No, I was imagining if this was somebody trying to get a bunch of likes on TikTok.
Oh,
I was thinking about blueprints, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I pulled up my carpet and I found concrete. What's under there?
What's under there? Whoa.
Audio listeners, Octo has a pool for a background, and I don't know what that pool is. Also, he's not Octo right now. He is Timmy the Pool.
I am. This is what I look like. This is also my picture on some social media.
Audio listeners, he's doing a bit.
I'm not doing a bit. I'm not doing a bit. It's a bit. Okay, you got me. It's a bit.
It's okay. Hi, and that's okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So good.
Yeah. Hey, are you aware? I'm just gonna say this up front. Yeah. Monster Prom 4 available now.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. We're all in it.
All of our voices are in there.
It's true. Sure, we're all part of this bad boy, and have been since the beginning. So
that's true.
You're not just supporting.
Don't tell you any different. We've been there forever.
Yeah. So pick it up today. It's the 4th one. It's convention time.
It's very funny. I haven't played it myself yet, but I was watching people play it last night on Twitch.
Oh, cute!
And there were some bits that made me laugh out loud that they were playing that I thought were very funny.
Really?
Yes, they always are. There's always good that's
bits.
Like so funny. I think in all of the Monster Prom games, and not to call them out, I don't think I've ever encountered a single event that hasn't at least gotten like a smile out of me. Maybe the only one that I thought was a little flat was the piss tree one, but that's it. That's like the only one that I've ever been like.
Just wanted you to pee on him, dude. I don't understand the problem.
The piss tree was a little strange, but like every other Monster Prom game I've ever played has just been fantastic, and I love all the writing, and they always knock it out of the park. So go check it out because we're all in it. And it's very funny. Yes,
true. You can date me this time. Just saying.
That's true. I was gonna say, as I said earlier, you're the breakout character. Doug is the big sweetheart. This
they
time.
love the slime boy. Yeah,
they do love him. The slime boy with the dad bod, everybody loves it, man.
Yep. And it's convention themed, so if you've ever been to convention or you think conventions are hilarious, we lampoon it all, baby. You got your lines lampooned. Man. Your artist alley lampooned. Hotel situations lampooned.
Cosplaying.
Yeah, cosplay, got it.
Yeah.
We got all of it. Yeah. Fan art, got it. Do you have did you go see a panel and you like, that panel sucked? Got it. We got it all.
Oh, I just realized that means you can date all of our characters this time. That's cute.
That is true. I believe so, because I'm Liam, Jesse's Doug, and you're
Aravi.
Aravi, that's right. Can you remember the hunter's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Hey, all right. Hey, we made it. Hey, we're all here.
This is it. This is the sign that we've done it. Look at us.
Did Jesse always voice Doug? Doug was in the Monster Camp, and that's my voice. Yeah.
So you've been doing it since camp. I don't think he was in Road Trip though. He might have been a guest. But
No.
Nice.
It's out now. Go buy it.
Yeah, go buy it.
We were on the front page, killing it yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Bam.
Okay. Can I talk about my thing that I wanted to talk about?
Of course you can.
Unless you guys have something you want to say first.
I don't. First off, I don't know what this is.
I never do.
So, yeah. Okay. And I just need to say, for the record, for those of you who saw the pre-show, at some point we need to have a conversation about Dodger's school years, because I learned some information that is insane.
Do you want to do that first?
We don't know. We don't have. No. Let them forget about it a little bit, and then we'll.
Fair enough. So, are you guys familiar with horse race tests at all?
I don't know what that is.
Tests for the horse?
No, horse race tests. It's a thing on Twitter where this guy has programmed these little. They're barely horses. And they run around these like little maps, and it's like random, right? So when they bounce, imagine like little DVD logos that are like bouncing around. And people in chat know. I see people cheering for jovial merriment. And there's like a carrot or an apple, and they have to get to the carrot or apple at the end of the stage, but they have to bounce around the walls. They don't really move in a set path, and they can like bounce against each other. And it's like very simple. It's like MS Paint graphics with like gradients and stuff. But the fan art is unbelievable. There is so much lesbian fan art of these horses as like anime women. It's utterly insane.
What?
The Yuri fan art. The Yuri fan art goes crazy. It is outrageous.
I don't understand what the game is, though.
It's not really a game.
It's just. Can I guess what this is based on your description before?
Yes.
So it's like there's a screen, and you kind of like with a marble race, you like choose a low poly horse. You're like, that's my horse. And then all the horses bounce around, and you're hoping that your horse is going to be the first one to land on top of the fruit.
Yeah, here. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Wait, but then how do we transition from that to anime girls in love?
So like I posted a picture of one in the chat so you can see what it looks like.
Okay.
Of an anime girl?
We're talking no, of the actual game. That's what the game looks like.
Okay.
My god. Okay, yeah, I mean it looks like little tiny Crendor drawn horse things.
Yeah.
But like we get like this is how people are drawing the horses, and there's like all this like lesbian fan art, and they're like shipping the different colors together, and like we love that, right? Like we know horse race tests is for the gays and for the girlies, which is fine.
First off, this doesn't look, the art you sent doesn't necessarily look like it's from that. Instead, just when I click hashtag Final Fantasy 14 on Twitter, for example, that's what I see instead of actual Final Fantasy 14 stuff.
I have to find. Oh, like here we go.
It just looks
like people are drawing like fan art of the horses. It's insane. There's so much of it.
You know what? This is what the internet was for. I'm not gonna lie. This is so goofy.
It's great. It's fucking awesome. Oh yeah. Okay. So here's like there was a lot. People were shipping the white horse and the cyan horse together a lot.
Okay.
So like there's that. There's like a lot of it.
Why does a cyan horse look like there's nothing going on?
Is she dead?
She loses all the time. Cyan loses. Rooting for Cyan is like rooting for the Knicks. Like it's like they haven't won since like, I don't know, like 82 or whatever, but we're still gonna come on Cyan. But you have to commit because someday they'll win. Someday she'll win. And I'll be there.
The Red Sox, one day they'll win.
Yeah,
and that happened eventually.
I know. I was gonna say the Cubs too, but the Cubs broke the curse as well. So if you keep rooting for Cyan, she'll come through. She'll win eventually.
I love that this is what you brought to us. I also feel like this is perfect because during pre-show, Jesse and I kind of offhandedly were talking about how we've both deleted all of the social media off of our phones. Mm-hmm. Right, this is the shit we're missing now. Jesse. Yeah.
But here's the thing. You have to shovel through like tons of garbage before you get to the real treasures. You know, it's like, how many garbage posts have I scrolled through before I found horse race tests? You know, it's like what am I doing? You know, and so is it worth it? For this moment here that I can share this with you, yes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, is it worth it for my mental health? That remains to be seen. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway,
is there? Hold on, I have to look.
What?
I'll bite the bullet for us. I'm gonna see if there's fanfic on AO3 for it.
Oh, I can almost promise you there is.
I have to know.
Wait, so is this? This seems like because. It's just little color. I don't even know if they're horses. I don't know what the hell these things are supposed to be.
I mean, horses is being very generous.
They're like grumpkuses, yeah. So these little color grumpkuses, they run this race.
There are.
Mm-hmm.
But then people have associated based on not even like this. I feel like this is some sort of sociological study because people have embodied these things that have no personality whatsoever with personalities to the point where now they're shipping these personalities together despite the fact that they have had none. This isn't like, you know, when Overwatch became...
story.
Yeah, like when Overwatch first popped off and people were dropping crazy fanfic and like dirty pics and stuff. And those characters had, they had character. You knew who that person was and that person was. So you could sort of put that on to your creations. This, just on the fly, they're making characters out of nothing. And then everyone's agreeing to, oh yeah, no, that's, oh, Cyan. That's, oh, she never wins.
Yeah,
she's
Jovial Merriment. Yeah,
crazy.
Shout outs to Jovial Merriment. She keeps winning. I want you to, can I look at the one I sent in chat? This is the Conclave crossover with horse race tests.
What do you mean?
They did a crossover with the movie that somebody made a crossover between horse race tests and the movie Conclave, where they're choosing the next pope.
I can't believe it's so popular.
Some of it's like really good. Like some of the art is like really good. Don't show this one on stream, obviously, but
I haven't shown any of it on stream.
Okay,
I gotta be real with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because I feel like I'm not surprised that this has happened. I think it's delightful. I love because like communities will do this to a lesser extent, just kind of like agree on, you know, like if there's a show with a character that doesn't get a whole lot of screen time, eventually the community kind of agrees on like what their personality is like, what their home life is like, right? Like, and
yes, of course,
they all have like an agreed upon canon, even though it's not part of the actual thing, right? That happens all the time. Right. So I think it's really interesting. This is entirely just based on like what happens in these games and the RNG involved has established full characteristics.
Somebody said it's Cocomelon for gamblers, and it kind of is, which is pretty. It's an apt description, but like I really feel like this is what I want. This is what I want my algorithm to serve me is shit like this. But instead, and all it ends up is. Twitter is an app where people send you satellite photos of your house from a burner account. It's like, why can't it be more of this? Like, can it please just be more of this? I'm begging you. I'm begging you for more of like this nonsense.
It is borderline dangerous though.
Why is that? I would love to hear this opinion.
As a person who's existed in many fandoms for a long time, right? Let's take Star Wars, for example.
Okay, sure.
So there's like dudes in the background of Star Wars things all over the place. And for years and years and years, people would be like, oh, that's, you know, Lorgan Gorficus. And that guy,
yeah.
And they'd like create a backstory for him and they do stuff. And then when the official information came out, they were like, I reject this. This is not. And so I know that's not gonna be the case here unless they somehow say we're gonna make a bunch of like lore for these things. But in most,
which they should not do.
No,
they should just leave it.
Yeah. But in most fandoms, when like Dodger was saying, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of Supernatural and that background character I love, and he's like actually 4 dudes in one living inside his body, and they all love each other, and like, and then it comes out like his name's Steve. he's a line cook at the local Arby's. Like, and people are like, boo, oh, boo, I hate you. And that's dangerous because, like, you let your audience create this thing, and then you're like, actually, no, you guys were just really wrong. And your fandom.
I do think it's people are kind of not that I don't adore when this happens, but you are sort of setting yourself up to be disappointed.
Yes.
If you choose something that already has plot and lore and actual formulated characters, right?
Yeah.
Like in your example, you develop what you think that character is like, and you get really attached to what you think that character is like, knowing full well, if you think about it, eventually there might be an episode where they're like, we're gonna check out what Bob's doing, you know, and all of it might get thrown into the shredder. You have no idea. This is very different because it has no lore. It's not a story.
It's not a story. It's barely even a thing. It's just it's mobile objects in an environment moving around randomly that just even sort of look like horses.
Which is fascinating. It's the emerging nature, like of this as a thing from just boop, 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 moving around the screen to like, the two of them move together. I wonder if they're having an affair on Cyan. Poor Cyan doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at. It's crazy.
I think that the thing is, because it's such a tabula rasa, right? Like, because there's not much there, is it allows people to project whatever they want onto it. And as long as everybody is sort of in on the joke and nobody is like, yellow and orange can't be together because, you know, as long as nobody starts policing like the thing and taking it way too seriously, which, you know, as we all know, will
100% happen.
100% happen. I think it's all in good fun, and like that's what I love about it, is that everyone's kind of like winking at each other and like in on the joke. But
it's cute.
You know, it's fun. It's just a goofy, fun thing, and this is what I love about social media: is people just get to do weird, fun shit and have a good time with it.
This is reminding me of how the reason that I started playing Cookie Run Kingdom is because the Santa cookie came out and people started drawing hot Santa cookie. And I was like, what the fuck is this game?
Some people are way into the cookies, man. Some
people are very into the cookies. Yeah.
It's
true. Again, it's one of those situations where you're like, the artist didn't need to pop off this hard drawing hot cookies.
Yes.
Right? They didn't need to do that. But I'm glad they did. Shout out to you guys. Good job.
I have questions.
Yeah, I mean,
was it chocolate chip cookie? Like, what was hot about this cookie? Was it Santa Claus? Was it gingerbread?
I'll find it. I think he is gingerbread cookie.
I mean, like,
so
I gotta get
here's
answers.
The thing, Jesse. What do you know about the cookies? What do you know about Cookie Run Kingdom?
I know it is not a game I'll ever play. I only have one mobile game, and it features a hot cat girl, and that's all I play.
Wait, Octo's the one who told me to start playing that game. So you guys should.
What game?
Wait, which game? Oh, AFK Journey?
I love AFK Journey.
Jesse is super into it.
AFK Journey is great. I love that game. Yeah. That game is fucking awesome.
It's the only mobile game I play ever, period.
I did a sponsored stream for it, and then I ended up just like continuing to play it, and it was really, really fun.
I'm not even sponsored, and I am like, yeah. Plus, I'm doing good things in it. I haven't spent a cent.
Nice.
I'm feeling very good about it.
Whoa, okay.
The problem is I'm getting my ass handed to me in PvP because, there are clearly builds that people have, and I'm like, well, I can't ever have that because I'm not going to buy it. But, other than that, I'm having a great time.
Yeah. The game's great. I really love the art style for it. It looks like kind of like a storybook almost, or like an older sort of fantasy drawing, and I like that because it's not like super overtly anime, which I mean, don't get me wrong, I love anime, but I love stuff that sort of takes a different course as well. And I like the character designs. I think it's great. That game is super cool, super fun.
Yeah, it's definitely it will constantly remind you that it's a please pay for this kind of game. Like, you'll be just doing a thing and the thing will pop up, be like, oh, you got a new character? For $15, you can unlock all this stuff about them. I'm like, I will not.
No. You have to resist. You have to resist the spendies.
Okay. I am throwing into our Discord conversation what the Santa cookie looks like in the game. Okay.
Okay, I see him. He does have like a.
He does have a like a. Yeah.
And this is people drop him.
Why on earth does he look like that? That's not even the
worst one.
No, all right. So let me just stress. I must stress this for everyone who can't see this. The fan art is like hot Santa. It just looks like ripped hot Santa. But the cookie himself is.
He's got swagger.
Yeah, the cookie looks. I'm just gonna say the cookie looks like he fucks. This cookie looks 100%. Like he comes to town every Christmas.
He comes to town, baby.
Every Christmas, and he is like, I'm looking for some ho-ho-hos. Like, that's what this Santa is. I've never seen a Santa look like this. Like, he is clearly a gingerbread cookie, but then they just gave him gorgeous hair, like, stellar beard, no shirt, and then they purposefully did this.
Yeah, they 100% did. Absolutely. I mean, like, the way I see it. I see the vision. Once you send me Santa Cookie, and then I was like, I know where this is going, right? I mean, you know, ripped, big chest, you know, burly guy. I get it. I get what they were doing here. So
hold on.
It makes sense.
They gave him arm hair too. This cookie has hair on his arm.
Yeah.
Unless
I mean, I'm
frosting.
assuming it's like frost. Yeah, I'm assuming it's frosting that's supposed to be arm hair, but sure. Yeah. I get. You're right.
He's too handsome. Also, for anyone who's ever played Final Fantasy 14, you know when Lalafels do the sneer emote and it looks like there's like that? That's this guy.
That.
He has this. He has the same face as the poop emoji. That like. It's crazy.
Yeah, or like the DreamWorks face.
I feel like I need to point out, because I just mentioned this maybe yesterday when you said he's coming to town looking for some ho-ho-hos.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I was just talking yesterday about, you know, when someone says something offhandedly in your childhood and for some reason you remember it for the rest of your life. Anytime someone says ho-ho-ho, I remember in high school a girl who said, "Merry Christmas, I'm a ho-ho-ho." And I think of that every single time. And so I love that you made that joke. It felt very topical to me.
She's still around, like single or something? What's going on with this girl?
In my hometown, probably not.
8 kids.
Wait, okay. This is a great segue.
This is a great
segue.
Yeah,
yes,
man. Yeah, okay.
Yes, man. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So before the show started, we were having a conversation about, like, you know, Octo was reciting from memory, I believe, the entire Gettysburg Address.
Yes.
And he said,
the start of it, yes.
I had to learn this growing up. And asked if we had to learn this. And Dodger said, no, I never had to learn that. The only thing I had to memorize was the salute to the Christian flag. Is that
the Pledge of Allegiance to the Christian flag?
The Christian flag.
First off, what? Second off, huh?
Yeah. So a really fun thing about the American education system is if you say that your school's a private school, none of your teachers have to know how to educate or have a degree in education whatsoever. So when I went to high school, which was my first time in public school, I realized I had a lot of huge gaps in my education because my teachers weren't very good. And I went to a weird little school in the middle of the woods that went K through 12 and had 100 kids. Okay.
I have so many questions about the middle of the woods school. What do you mean?
I was in the middle of the woods
just
school.
like Laura Ingalls Wilder, the little school in the big woods.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. Are you trying to tell me that are you being like, it's in the middle of the woods, or was it literally in the middle of the woods in the middle of nowhere?
It was next to the tree line. So it was next to a street.
Okay.
Just drive up and pull into it.
Welcome to my classroom.
The tree line was there. There was like a creek next to it. Like it was
no witches involved, as far as I'm aware. All right.
There are no witches.
Okay.
Because they're going
Christian
to hell.
school.
So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So clearly.
Right.
But no. At the start of school every day, while I was going to this school, we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, the normal one, which people already in other countries think is bonkers that we have to do that in school.
Yeah.
So Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, bonkers. And then immediately after, we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance to the Christian flag. And shout out to my dad, because pretty much every day when I would come home from school, my dad would be like, all right, what'd they tell you today? So that's cute. But he at one point was like, they make you hold your hand over your heart, but I want you to make those kids think. And next time you should pledge of allegiance with your hand over your mind.
Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. So I did that exactly once.
That's
tell my dad
funny.
that I did.
So I, for my 4th and 5th grade years of school, also went to a private school. And it was like a weird sort of very like experimental kind of school where we had to do this thing every morning called brain gym. And I thought it was bogey. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold your laughs.
You know what? Going to public school doesn't seem so bad to me anymore.
Nary a chuckle has escaped me. Go on.
So, all right. So, apparently, there is some validity to some of these things that we had to do, but it's very like some of it's a little woo-woo, right? So, one of the things we had to do is they said you have to. Right below your collarbones are these 2 spots, and it's called your brain buttons. And you have to basically like put pressure on there, and it'll help increase your concentration. And I was like, what? And even as how old are you in 4th grade? Like 8 or 9,
8,
something like that. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this? I mean, I did it because, we got in trouble if we didn't.
Right, you had to at school. Yeah.
You had to. And so it was like, yeah, okay, so this is, these are your brain buttons. You have to do those. And then we had to do... Like no,
here?
You weren't like, so just below your collarbones.
Like right
just
here.
barely below. Like right there,
here.
yes.
Like right
and you
here.
didn't like, you just put pressure on them, essentially. You would just like, with one hand... with your thumb and your middle finger, your thumb and your index finger, doesn't really matter. Okay. You would just put pressure there and do it for like 15 seconds and then rest, and then like 15 seconds and then rest. And apparently that was supposed to increase your concentration for the rest of the day, or at least for, some, I don't know. Also, we couldn't have any food with sugar in it, and we weren't allowed to sit next to the microwaves at lunch because they thought that they emitted harmful waves that would, detrimentally affect our health.
Okay.
Jesse, are you okay?
I'm looking it up, and there's a lot of stuff.
Are there brain buttons? Jesse, are there brain buttons? Here's
the thing. I don't know that it's real because all I'm seeing are YouTube videos about it and things called like whole brain living and integrated learning.
Potential.
Yeah,
unlocking all the education chakras. Yeah,
I'm not seeing this in any medical journals, but I am seeing a lot of like dudes talking about it online.
Yeah. So that was a lot of that. We weren't, like I said, we weren't allowed to have sugar in any of our food in lunches at all. So like we couldn't have like candy or snacks or like granola bars or anything like that. And then I'm trying to think. Yeah, but then we had to do other things, other sort of like mental exercises like that in the morning. And but that was my weirdo school. And I only went there for 2 years, and then my parents were like, this sucks, go to public school. And I was like, okay. And then I did.
Yeah, public school was a huge wake-up call for me. But I begged my parents to let me go because I was like, I have no idea what kids my age are like. I'm going to a freaking school with like the same 10 kids that I've known since I was 7, right? Like I need to get out of here. Which I'm sure is a conversation that a lot of like homeschool kids have, right? Like, please let me just be in kind of a different environment.
A lot of this makes sense in kind of like, if anyone was to go back and watch your first videos on YouTube, Dukes, you have a vibe of definitely like, yeah, I grew up in the woods. You know?
Wait, what did he mean? What did he mean by this?
Well, because like,
I don't know.
Everything from look to hair to attitude, it isn't a like, you don't seem like you've been beaten down by society. You have this wild side to you in those videos, which is left. You've clearly been beaten down now, but before you had like this.
Thank goodness.
Give us a break, Jesse. We're almost 40.
You have this like attitude that you had, and you were like, I don't care what anyone says about me. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be my own person. That's clearly changed, and I'm pretty sure I helped ruin that, which I'm fine with. But more importantly, what was the Christian Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh my gosh, can I remember it? It was pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands. One nation, one Savior, crucified, risen, and coming again.
Holy fucking shit.
Oh my God. I can't remember the rest, I don't think. I would just like to say really quickly to the people watching, I am not making fun of religion now at all.
Of course. Yeah.
This is just like, this is weird.
It's a thing
that happened. To make kids do this.
Yeah, it is very much a weird thing to make kids do that.
I will make fun of the pledge, though. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah,
that pledge. It's like they said, all right, let's take and copy the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, and then just insert some random buzzwords to get people really excited about Jesus. And then, like, it's not very creative.
And like, here's the thing, and I didn't think about this until I was older, because, you know, you get sheltered in like this weird bubble of normalcy, right? But it wasn't until I was older and I realized that some of the kids that were in our class were like not religious whatsoever, but still had to do that pledge every day. Like, that's weird. That's so weird.
It's very weird.
So yeah, I don't remember the way that it ends, but yeah, I had to do that every single day. And my dad was like, put your hand on your forehead, make those kids think.
Yeah.
It's like, they've got enough going on, Daddy. We don't need to do that.
Critical thinking in what grades did you go to this school?
2nd through 8th.
Oh, wow. You were there for a while.
That's what I'm saying. I finally went to public school for high school.
Whoa, okay, I see. Yeah, because I was only at my school for 2 years, 4th and 5th, and then I went to public school from 6th through senior year. But yeah, that's a long time.
The school was small. Again, it was small enough that I was with the exact same kids for years, you know? And I don't think that there was anything, like, for the most part, we all got along because, like, we kind of had to, right? So my relationships with all of those kids were actually really lovely. I knew that I didn't know what kids my age were like, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it was the same kind of thing for me. Like, that school that I went to was very small. So, you know, you want to expand your friend group. You want to meet other people and go to a much bigger pool of potential friends and people to meet.
But did you guys not have, like, were there weird social groups and, like, peer groups and cliques and stuff in your schools? Or was it like everyone's kind of weird for themselves?
Well, you're talking about in the private school or in general?
In the private schools.
Well, since I only went there for 2 years, there weren't really cliques because, like, our class was so small.
That's what I'm asking. It sounds like these are very small schools. So
yeah,
was it the same atmosphere? Like, could you, if everyone knew everyone?
Yeah. I mean, Dodger probably has a better answer for this than I do.
Again, it was 100 kids total.
That's what I'm asking.
Kindergarten through high school. Yeah. So they're kind of, I guess, but they weren't really cliques. It was just like those two are best friends. Those three are best friends.
Yeah, very much so.
They tend to hang out a lot. But I mean, we all had to do stuff together, So, it's not like there weren't kids in my class where I was like, God, I hope that I don't have to work with that kid. Well, but that's just natural. You don't love everybody, right?
Yeah.
But we all kind of had to get along. And by the time I left, we all knew each other so well that it was like, I have a couple of better friends for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm friends with everybody.
Here's the question. Here's the $1 million question, Dodger. Was there a guy? $1 million. Was there a guy in your school who wore the Triforce fit?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it. There's one in every school. Every school has a Triforce fit guy or girl. All right, that was my question. I had to know.
Do you think I guess this is more of a Dodger question. Do you think this going to such a small school was of benefit to your childhood? Because I know you wanted out, right? But did it allow you to age without sort of weird, crazy pressures, or were there their own pressures there?
I think the benefit was also kind of the detriment, which is that it was so small that I knew all the teachers, I knew the principal, I knew the vice principal, I knew all of the kids, right? So it had that aspect of kind of like a small community where everyone's sort of looking out for each other all the time.
Sure.
Everybody knows what's going on with everybody else. Everybody's trying to help each other with things. So I think being at the age that I was, it was really nice to have that for a while. But I did run into plenty of issues with it. Yeah. Specifically with the wild oscillation between having a teacher who clearly loved to teach. Not that this doesn't happen in public school too, but having a teacher who clearly loved to teach and wanted to be a better educator versus the lady that just kind of filled in for 4th grade because they didn't have anybody else and she's never taught a class in her life, right? The fact that was able to happen in the school system was bad. That wasn't good, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there were positives and negatives for sure. And once I got into public school, definitely big positives and negatives.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm still glad that I went.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just very curious. That's not an upbringing that I had.
Yeah.
I had normal
public school all the way through.
Yeah. It was whatever. It was a weird thing because it was in elementary school. There were 2 schools in our neighborhood, Harmon and Smith, and you either went to Harmon or Smith. That was depending on what side of the city you lived on. Now, mind you, this isn't a big city. This is basically the size of the Vatican when it comes to square mileage, right outside of Dayton, Ohio. And but then for high school, the Smith kids and the Harmon kids joined together and went to high school. So that 7th grade was wild because you were going in there with your cool kid, we're representing Harmon, dude. And you roll in and those Smith kids are I don't even know if I can trust these dudes. I don't even know you, bro. Who are you? And then you'd have to mingle and come together. It was very weird. It was a weird kind of who are these people? Oh, I bet that's a popular kid. Oh, I hate him. But it was kind of half the school was exchange students. So you got a fresh start.
Right.
You got to restart over a little bit. It was good. But then you had your friends from elementary school who'd be like, nah, that guy's just a loser. And oh, man.
Yeah, well, you try and reinvent yourself. And you're like, no, you know what? I'm leather jacket kid. Now I'm wearing the leather jacket. And then they'd be like, nah, he's doing a thing. He's not leather jacket kid. You're like, shut up, man.
I will say,
you me.
The thing that united all the guys very quickly, I don't know what was going on in the girl verse, but the guy verse, 7th grade, Power Rangers. We all ironically liked Power Rangers, but secretly loved Power Rangers.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so what was this original Power Rangers? Mighty Morphin?
Yeah, it was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right.
it was around the time the movie came out, I think. And so we were all like feeling it.
Yeah, that's when they got the Cucker Ranger mechas. Yeah,
yeah. So we were all like, oh yeah, no, like Power Rangers, right? But secretly at home every day, everyone's like, dude, did you see yesterday? Oh yeah, man, that was amazing. Yeah. The stupidest thing. Yeah, man. But yeah.
That's badass. See, for me, I was unironically into Power Rangers very much. If that's not completely obvious from my whole, persona.
Your whole thing, yeah.
My whole thing, yeah. I was very much into that, but yeah. And then I got out of it, which is funny because I feel like I went on a similar thing with anime where like I was super into Power Rangers and then I was like, ew, I was a kid and into Power Rangers, so I can't like that anymore. But I was secretly still into it. And then now that I'm an adult, I'm like, wait a minute, I can just like that stuff. I can just like what I like and it doesn't have to be a dark secret. But
how freeing.
The same thing happened with anime. I was like, I got super into anime. I really liked it. And then I was like, no, wait, I don't want to be associated with that. And then I like actively sort of forced myself not to like it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I can just like it. It's okay to like it. It's fine.
All right. This is a question I have. So when I was in school, elementary school was, weird scoops of green beans and square pizzas for lunch.
Yeah.
Or,
pizza. A square pizza would hit right now.
Square pizzas with the little tiny square pieces of pepperoni on it. Right.
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, they upgraded it by being like, for $1.50, you can get a slice of like Pizza Hut pizza. And we were like, whoa. Right. What was in your schools, especially elementary, what were they serving for food?
So for my original elementary school, it was like, I think it's like the traditional elementary school fare that you would see. Sandwiches, chicken soup. There was like a hot, there was like if you were getting the hot lunch, right? You got like entree and then like a side and then like some fruit or something, so the side would be like mashed potatoes or vegetables or, like green beans or broccoli.
Yeah. The weird vegetable medley. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the entree would be, soup or a pizza or some kind of sandwich or a hamburger.
The perfectly round chicken patty.
Yes, man.
Bro, the chicken sandwiches with those ancient chicken patties, I loved those so much.
Yep.
I liked the fish fillets. I did like the fish fillets. Those were pretty good too. But yeah, it's the standard elementary school fare that I'm sure it's whatever the fucking Sodexo company is giving them for the cheapest possible price. It's whatever. Yeah. But yeah.
I don't remember what they served in my school.
Did you guys bring food from home?
Sometimes.
Yeah. My mom packed my lunch a lot.
But
once I was in high school, I got hot lunch sometimes, and it was like there's a main, and then there's like a little salad bar, and You
had a salad bar?
Ooh, salad bar.
Yo, I'm so impressed. We did not vegetables. We had a hallway. Like you would open a door and you go into the kitchen, and it was like a hallway where you had to walk your ass through to the cafeteria. And in that kitchen, they weren't cooking anything. By the time I was in high school, they were like, we got the pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut, and then over here a bunch of Little Debbie cookies. And over there, it was like not even remotely healthy. So we would always leave campus and go out to lunch. There was a time my senior year, I don't think we went like a whole month only eating Chipotle because it was like the new thing. And we'd be like, dude, you going to Chipotle? Like, yeah, dude, I'm going to Chipotle. And we would go. That's when if you showed up wrapped in tinfoil, they just give you a free burrito.
Oh my God, amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the days. Before they were bought out, the worst.
I never wanted to get in trouble. So I only did out of school lunch one time. I snuck out with my friend, and my hometown finally had its first fast food place. We got a McDonald's. And so we were
McDonald's.
Like, so we were like, oh my gosh, should we sneak off out of school for lunchtime and get McDonald's? And we felt so crazy.
My God, sometimes you just got to do something a little crazy, you know?
I know.
Sometimes you just got to do something a little cyber psycho.
We'd leave so much that I forgot during like the last couple weeks of senior year when they were taking photos for the yearbook. Myself and this other girl, we were class clowns, right? And so we were supposed to take a photo together, except I just forgot. And so the photo is literally her by herself, but it has both our names. And I was like, that's really good. That's actually a solid
really funny.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yep.
Did either of you guys get voted any superlatives for your yearbook?
No.
What do you mean?
Did.
I mean,
like, voted most likely to something?
No.
No.
I did. I got voted most likely to come back and work security.
What the shit?
My senior and junior year, I went to it's like a performing arts high school. Well, it was just an arts high school. They had like visual art, media, music, theater, etc. And the security team was called safety team. And it was just the security guys, but a lot of them were previous alums that just like needed a job, right?
Okay.
And I was voted most likely to come back and work on safety team. So
it's like a weird way of saying most likely to be a townie, like most likely to not go anywhere.
Essentially, basically. And it's funny because they don't tell you what you got voted for. And so what would happen is somebody from the yearbook would come find you and say, hey, we need to take your picture for a superlative. And we're like, what did we get voted? And they're like, well, you'll find out when the yearbook gets published.
Really, you should know so you can play into it.
Well, yeah, because like me and this other girl were like, okay, what do we do? And they're like, okay, we're gonna take your picture. And I was like, yeah, hey. And so then in the yearbook is like voted most likely to come back and join safety team. And I was like, I mean, I get it, but come on, I've got a little more oomph in me than that. Not that there's anything wrong with working on safety team.
Most inspirational on my dance team.
Oh,
which was very sweet.
You're just most inspirational in general.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, stop it. Do you guys want to talk about video games at all? Or are we just,
fine, we'll do it.
We can do that.
Because I'm curious about what you guys are playing. I want to know.
Well, what are you playing?
I'm gonna guess that Jesse and I have just played a lot of Blueprints mostly, and maybe some Expedition 33. I would guess that Jesse's played some Expedition 33.
How is that? Is it good?
Yeah, Expedition 33, awesome.
Yes,
it's so cool.
Sam said it's fantastic. He played it for the first time yesterday.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Expect like the intro is designed to make you be like, yo. We gotta do something about this problem, because basically, the lore of the world is, 67 years ago, this thing, the Paintress, showed up, disrupted the entire world in a way that Paris, what's left of Paris, was ported out into the middle of the water. In a place we call Lumiere now. And back on the continent, everything's a complete mess. And this Paintress goes on this giant monolith, and every year ticks down a number. And anyone over that age, like, gets Thanos dusted.
Oh, shit.
And so the beginning of this game starts off with everyone 34 or over. And actually, there's no one really over that age anymore because everyone's dusted. So anyone who is 34... gone. And now it says 33, and Expedition 33 is the group that's going to go and try to, like all the expeditions before them, try to find out what's going on the continent and then kill the Paintress and save the world. And so, the game starts out with you watching literally the Gamage, and I'll leave it at that. It's called the Gamage, and it goes down, and then you're like, all right, let's go over there. And you do. And some stuff happens, and then you find yourself on the land, and you pick up party members, and it's like combat-wise, it's sort of a mix of Persona and I guess Mario RPG. in that you when you attack, you can press buttons to amplify the attacks. When you are attacked, you can parry and dodge. And based on different things you can equip to your character, you can by dodging, you can get more AP attack points, or by parrying, you can do an automatic attack and hit them again, or you can make it so that your normal attacks can heal you. But there's all sorts of different ways to sort of make your characters work, and there's plenty of different weapons and ridiculous outfits you can get. There is a thing in the game, and I'm not sure why. I don't know the answer to this, but they're mimes. And I guess because France, but they're mimes, but they're like puppets. They look like little puppets with giant heads, but they're all mimes. And they're very hard to defeat. But if you defeat them, you get a certain item, like a ridiculous outfit from them, be it hair outfits or whatever. And so some of the ones I've beaten give your characters sort of like very French, like berets and sunglasses, and you have a baguette for a backpack. It's ridiculous. Very funny stuff. Does not fit at all with the emotional drama happening in the game. But yeah, it's an interesting concept of, I don't know, maybe 8 hours in, I couldn't tell you what the hell's happening in this game. Like, I know what we need to do. I know the objective, but the further we get into the continent, the more and more bizarre things are. So the continent itself is like a mishmash of beautiful flora and fauna, but also, warped version. Like there's a bench for some reason sitting there, or a streetlight that's kind of like curved and weird. But then also giant monolithic statues that look corrupted and eldritchy, strange like shapes and floating islands and stuff. Absolutely crazy things going on there. Big fan of this game. It is a legitimate, really well done RPG. The cast is stacked. Just so the main character looks like oh my god, my brain just died. What is that guy's name? He was Batman, and he's also in Tenet, and he's a vampire. What? The main character looks like Robert Pattinson, but is voiced by Charlie Cox. So it's Daredevil's voice in Robert Pattinson, which is crazy. And then God's favorite cleric is in this. Shadowheart is playing one of the main characters.
Nice.
Isn't your sweet baby Ben in this
Ben
game?
is in this. I have not run into Ben yet, and I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, which I'm very excited about, because they keep dropping what I believe is his character's name. Like random dudes will be like, "Oh yeah, no, that's what he was talking about," and I'm like, "I've never met. Who is that guy? What do you mean?" There's a lot going on, and then I have stumbled across Andy Serkis's character a few times now. But there's
Andy Serkis is in it. Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in this game. I don't know how long it is, to be honest. It could be a 40-hour RPG. It may not be. There's definitely a lot going on in this game. But yeah, like I said, I'm only 8 hours in, and so far, the craziest thing I've done is I met paintbrush people. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Game sounds awesome.
It's very, very fun. But also, there's not a lot they're playing for comedy, if that makes any sense. It is like, from jump, pretty depressing in context of what's happening in the world. It's interesting. Yep.
Nice.
Oh, Dukes, did you blueprint?
I blueprinted a lot.
Did you room 46?
I did room 46.
Okay.
Have you room 46?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Do I need to play rooms 1 through 45 before I understand what room 46 is?
Actually, yes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Do you know anything about blueprints?
I know Northern Lion played a lot of it. But that's about it.
It's very good. It is a surprisingly, I know that we said this already last week, but it is a shockingly deep game.
So I hear.
The fact that so many people have showed up in my chat and been like, I've played like 50 hours of this game and you have rooms I've never seen before.
Whoa.
Or like, just stuff like that. Like you can truly sort of do certain aspects at your own pace. You can wind up finding things in completely different ways to how other people did. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what day, like in-game day I was on when I did room 46, but I think it was in the 40s.
Whoa!
I think I almost.
Oh man, I got it like 19. I think I'm in my 20s right now, day wise.
Yeah, I did not focus on trying to get that room open for a really long time. I got very Tetris brained about it. And nearly every time I play, I compulsively want to fill up every single square.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which has created a situation where sometimes I have really long runs, but I still just don't wind up getting up there, Like I'll find a bunch of new lore, or I'll find a puzzle that I hadn't really thought about before, or
now. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Finish your thought.
No.
Oh, I was going to ask, as somebody who hasn't played it,
yeah.
Do you feel that the roguelike element complements the puzzle element, or do you feel that it gets in the way? Would you preferred it to be just a puzzle game or just a roguelike game, or do you think that the two different aspects play well with each other?
So, puzzle-wise, the puzzles it's like layered puzzles. So, placing rooms is a puzzle, because you don't want to block yourself off, but also within those rooms are puzzles. And then sometimes those rooms connect in ways that you're like, oh, if I have this room and this room, then this other room will be a thing. And so by having all of that work together, I know when I first started playing this, I was like kind of worried that it would be rogue-likey in a way that wasn't going to have any cumulative benefit. Like, I wouldn't get anything. There wouldn't be any meta progression. It'd just be constantly roguing my way through this. And by the end, I would just be like, no, this sucks. I keep getting screwed by RNG. And that does happen sometimes. But when you refocus on there's meta progression and each run can get you something, then it changes the way you see the madness. So, for example, there's like a property too. And on that property, you can unlock things that through the house or outside can change the way you play. And to the point where I got there's one room, it's a lab. And the lab lets you run experiments. And the experiments are like a bunch of different options. You can bind them together. And one of the ones I got was anytime you dig up anything on the property that isn't an item, it'll give you 1 permanent starting gold. So now whenever I start, I have so much money to spend, and it changes the way I'm playing now. And so because the rooms change, I can get the gift shop, or I can get the bookshop, or I can get the jewelry. Like, there's a bunch of different rooms that let you spend money in them, and some runs you don't need them, and some runs you do. But having access to them, having that sort of RNG nature, kind of helps, because then okay, well, I want to do this, and I want to do this, but I didn't even know that room existed. And now I see that. And then the further you get, the more you're like, okay, we can actually force rooms now. We can make things appear. We can do things. So the longer you play, the less and less the RNG has an impact on it. But at the same time, there's still things. So for example, one of the outside things you can get is like a classroom, like an old dilapidated classroom, which will then allow things to happen inside the manor. And that adds a whole other, you've just put 8 more rooms in your deck, if you will. And now that changes the way you can progress. And you could completely ignore that if you want. Or you could say, I'm going to try and get every single room and see what that does for me. Like every single one of those special rooms. It's that kind of game.
The game just gives you the longer that you play, it gives you so many different things that you could be pursuing. Or like there might be a puzzle that you just keep thinking about for like 4 runs and you're like, all right, you know what? I'm going to just do whatever I can to get this room and this room so that I can just sit here and figure this puzzle out. Yeah, there's been like kind of a meme, but it's kind of true that once you complete the initial objective of the game and get the credits, everyone's like, you did the tutorial, good job, because there's so much more in the game to pursue if you want. It's, I guess, Animal Well was like that to a lesser extent, right? Where you finish the game and it didn't take that long and it was a fun experience. But like, if you wanted to just keep playing, you would find more depth. Blueprints, has a ton of depth to it for sure. But I do think the people who are showing up, it's got kind of an issue like Cult of the Lamb had this kind of an issue. And I think anybody who says, I like this genre of game and this genre of game, and I'm going to try to make them kiss, you're going to frustrate people. And there's nothing that you can really do about that, right?
And I see what you mean, because sometimes people will see that and they'll say, I want game A. And then they'll see that this game has game A in it, but it's also got game B.
But it's also game
really,
B.
They want game A. And so they play game A and they're having a great time with game A, but then game B shows up. And they're like, well, I didn't want that. I wanted game A. And it's like, well, it's both, you know?
That's a really good example, Dukes. The idea of like Cult of the Lamb, for those who've never played, but I assume almost everyone has, the idea of, I want to go and I want to rogue like my way through some stuff and fight guys and do cool stuff.
Yeah, I want to do my little Hades bit.
Yeah, but then you have to manage a community that literally poops everywhere and can't clean up their own poop. And
they're trying to die.
Yeah, they will actively try to kill themselves. You're like, what are you doing? I was gone for 5 minutes. That kind of, and it can be annoying. There's the same thing here. So I'm gonna try and be as vague as possible. But there's a puzzle in Blueprints that you discover that requires you to play a game of chess, basically. And this chess puzzle, the way it works is it involves things in the manner. And when you discover, oh, okay, I know what I need to do this thing now. From that point on, once you know that, it's all about pulling the right rooms. And if you don't pull them on that run, well, you're not doing the chess thing. And I have never, not once, gotten all the things I need in order to do that chess puzzle. I know it exists. I know where it's at. I know what I need to do. I have everything. I just have not pulled the right rooms. And I know what those rooms are. And I know what I need. And the game is just like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
And so it's just another thing to add to the backlog of stuff that I have to finish in the game. And there's other things where it's like, okay, I need, like, there's this great thing where I finally got an item that I can use to do certain things in certain rooms, right? Except now that I have that item, I have not drawn the room I need once.
Show up.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God. And it's just, you keep doing it. Thankfully, there's so many other things that it's like, so another great example is I use that item that I needed for that room on a totally different room, thinking I found a secret passage. No. It was another puzzle. I was like, are you kidding me? So that's kind of the game, is you just keep digging deeper and peeling back the layers like an ogre. And there's something underneath each peel.
Yeah.
So to that effect, comparing it to a game like, say, I don't know, Myst, right? Where Myst or Riven is probably a better example, because Riven's a little more in depth than Myst. Riven is a game where when you discover a puzzle, and then you discover the solution and you're like, I don't have the solution for this right now. And then you continue the game and you find the solution for that puzzle. You can just go back and do that puzzle.
You can just literally walk back and do it.
Walk back and do it. But do you feel that the reason they included the roguelike aspect of it is to maybe extend the enjoyment you get out of the game to linked at it because you're like, well, I have a puzzle here, but I can't do it yet because I didn't get the right rooms this time. I gotta come back and do it again.
No. People are spending like 100 hours on this guy. I don't think it needed padding. I think there's a lot in it.
But is the padding or is the hours there because they keep doing the runs and they have to keep getting the right runs?
There's also a deep lore to this.
Okay, fair enough.
So there's like a lot of things to find that expand on the story of who your character is, what's going on in the world, literally like world lore. There is some weird stuff happening that I don't know what, if it's like magical. There's like a whole bunch of stuff, but you are skimming the surface, and unless you decide you want to dig, you might not ever encounter that stuff. But it's there. There's a lot of stuff happening in this game. There's also things like puzzles that I didn't even know were a puzzle. Like there's one room I kept going in it, and everyone's like, "Oh, has he solved this room yet?" I'm like, "What do you mean? It's just a room. What do you mean solved it?" And then much later, I realized, oh, I see. It's that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It's deep.
Yeah, what I was gonna say to the point of like it being sort of a mesh of genres is like I had a run on stream where I had banked up a lot of, again, trying to be vague, I had banked up a lot of things so that my next run I would start off on the best foot possible, right?
Okay.
I would have everything that I need to basically build what I want, go where I want, and not even worry. And I just, luck of the draw, got completely fucked and only did like 4 rooms, and then I couldn't go anywhere. And somebody in chat was like, see, this sort of shit makes me not want to play this game because I think I would find that too frustrating. And I was like, I really think if you play a lot of games that are in the same vein of like Binding of Isaac, this doesn't bother you as much.
Right. Of course.
It really is about like what sort of games you enjoy and what you're used to as well. Because to me, this is the equivalent of like having an incredible starting item in Binding of Isaac and then immediately
who do
dying.
We know that
right?
played a lot of Binding of Isaac, huh? Anyway,
yeah,
I couldn't imagine. Can't think of anybody.
Yeah, so yeah, it's it can be very frustrating for sure, but it's also very similar to tons of other really well received games. It's just. Yeah. If you are going in like really wanting a puzzle game, and kind of like you were saying, and you realize you can't just you want game A, and you can't just go back to this room and do that puzzle unless you pull the right room. If you hate that, this will be frustrating.
And like on the flip side, what Dodger was saying about bad pools, the time I got to room 46, I literally in chat was just like, guys, if I wasn't on stream right now, I would have said I'm done and restarted the day. Because I was so frustrated. I was getting the worst pools ever. And then somehow managed to get to the end with 2 steps left. Like it was a perfect run. Almost the entire house was filled. Everything, I had achieved all these things. When earlier I was like, this sucks. I'm doing so bad. This is so stupid. And yet somehow pulled out the old keister and did it. So it can happen. And it's just all about that RNG sometimes.
And that's exciting. That's that exciting moment where it all falls into place. And that's like that's the exciting roguelike part of it, I guess, is where it's like, oh shit, I got exactly what I need exactly when I want it. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Nice.
It's fun. It's cool. Yeah.
I haven't been playing that game, but it looks cool.
What have you been playing, Octo?
I have been playing Rimworld. Rimworld is a lot of fun. I totally bounced off that game the first time I tried it back in 2019. I just completely gave it a shot and I was like, no, not for me. Which is funny because I love Dwarf Fortress and it's very similar in a lot of respects. But I totally just ricocheted off that game.
Do you remember what it was that you didn't like?
There was a lot of things. It was managing temperatures was annoying to me because you kind of have to do that in DF, but not really. And and not being able to control as many, because in Dwarf Fortress, your dwarves are much more cogs in a machine, right? Like you can get like 200 of them in your fort. They get pretty big, and so it's like how do I say this? You don't really have to focus on a lot of individual dwarves unless there's one that's like really good at something and you want him to do a lot of stuff. You don't really think about it. They're just sort of tools for you to use. In Rimworld, your guys are like much more, you have way less, right? You start with 3 in the standard start, and they have like personalities and individual quirks about them, and sometimes they're missing a limb or something, you know, like, so it's very random rather than just sort of like you get a fresh body in who has some skills you can use. Like it's very much focused on the interpersonal relationships and the drama of their pawns in Rimworld, which isn't something I was really aware of. So I got invited to do a multiplayer collab because there's a multiplayer mod for Rimworld where everybody can control different stuff. And it was so insane. And I went into it not really expecting to make a successful colony, just, you know, because I knew we wouldn't really last. Yeah. But oh my God, it was so funny and so much fun. And I really liked that we were playing with 2 people that knew a lot, because it was myself, the collab was myself, Meka, Garrick, and Giga.
Nice.
Yeah, and so myself and Giga didn't know it much at all, and Meka and Garrick knew a lot. So like immediately when we got in, Meka was like, okay, I'm going to set up our storehouse, I'm going to set up our kitchen, I'm going to set up our cooler, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make power, I'm going to build the engine and all that. And then like I just got to have my guy who was really strong like go around and punch things, and that was cool. So like I sort of got to see how the initial setup of a colony went by somebody who'd played hundreds of hours of Rimworld, and then I got to sort of just like do my specific task that I wanted to do.
That's nice.
And yes, and so it was so funny because before we had the collab, Mika was like, what kind of character do you want to have? And I said, I want to be ripped and I want to have a fat hog. And she was like, okay. So she designed a character for me, and she gave me a high libido and made me very attractive and ripped, but I had genetic brain damage. And so all I could do was like build and mine. And immediately the first thing that happened when we spawned in was I immediately had sex with both Giga's pawn and Meka's pawn, and I got Meka pregnant immediately.
Oh my God. High libido indeed.
I know. And so, yes, and I was bisexual. And so Meka, like there was this whole thing where like Meka had the baby, and then we were like, what are we going to do? We need to speed up its growth. So they started giving the baby cocaine and beer, and and there was
that
whole thing.
Helps it grow.
Well, we don't know, but it was worth a shot. But it was very fun, just sort of like messing around and seeing what you can do in it. And afterwards, I was just like, I want to give my own a shot, right? I want to give my own colony a shot. So I did, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's really, really fun. Yeah. We did get the baby addicted to go juice. That was funny.
Oh no.
What is? You know what?
The
why would I ask
insane.
questions? Yeah, why would I ask? That sounds like
crazy.
That sounds like a very normal multiplayer experience. Why ask questions?
Yeah. It was very fun. I had a great time with it, and we actually want to do another one, but it was a great time. So I've been still learning a bit how to play Rimworld, and it is. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I'm really, really liking it a lot. I just have to look at it differently from Dwarf Fortress, because I went in thinking it was that when it's not. It's similar in that it's like a colony management or like a settlement management game, but there's so many things that are different, like the way that ideologies interact and the way that personalities can clash and things like that, and traders and producing goods is slightly different. And so once I adapted, I've been having a great time. It's awesome. And there's so many mods, and it's you can really dive into that sort of thing. It's
the mod community for that game is crazy.
It's utterly insane. And like a bunch of people have been streaming it too that I noticed. Like I was watching Benji do a stream where he was had one survivor, and he just had to clone himself over and over again. And that was going to be his whole colony.
Amazing.
Was going to be, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know Limes plays that game a lot.
Yeah, Limes likes it. And, and like I said, like Garrick has played a ton of it. And I know a lot of people who are super, super into it. But yeah, it's cool. Yeah. But
I get so overwhelmed by games like that, where it's like, keep track of all this shit. I'm like, I won't.
Yeah.
Well, I won't. A lot of them will die.
I mean, you could just pause it, right? And figure it and go like, moment by moment and be like, okay, you need to do this. You need to do this. I will say the AI isn't the best. And sometimes you'll prioritize something and be like, listen to me, fucker. You need to do this right now. And he's like, but I'm carving a statue. And it's like, okay, well, I don't need you to, okay, listen, I feel like this is what it must be like to have a child. It's like, okay, I know you're carving a statue right now, but that's not what we need you to do. I need you to go do this. And they're like, but let me finish. And I'm like, I am telling you to do this now because this is what needs to get done. I'm like, this is probably what it's like to have a child. But anyway, yes, it is. It's a lot of fun. That game is super fun. I also bought a really weird slop game called Medieval Blacksmith, which is like a simulator game where you open a blacksmith shop in a medieval town and you have to like forge weapons and then sell them to adventurers. It's very, but the minutia comes from actually forging and designing the weapons. So it's not like you make sword. It's like, how long is the sword? How long is the handle? What type of hilt does it have?
Oh, interesting.
What's the curve of the blade? You can manually change the curve of the blade, and that changes the cutting efficiency of it, and what kind of adventurers want a better cutting weapon versus a stabbing weapon versus a sword or wand or a dagger or something like that. So it's kind of cool, and it's pretty fun, but it's very much like a simulator game, so it's a little janky, but it's very fun. Yeah, so that's the other one I've been playing.
Nice.
Two things. First off, one, if you're saying to yourself, man, games like Rimworld or whatever, that stressed me out, let me direct you shamelessly to the video that Tell Me About up on youtube.com/JesseCox right now, where I sit down and talk with City Planner Plays about city building games and how to actually play them. Dude is a legitimate real city planner and tells me about how to make city planning a real thing in video games. And he taught me a thing that I did not think of. Hey, your city has a character. And I was like, huh? And he's like, who were the first people that moved there? Why'd they move there? For what purpose? What was going on there? You got to think about that stuff when you make your city based on the land. If you were going to start your city right away and as like a river, well, what would you do with that river? You have to rethink it, and then you have to keep adjusting and changing over time. I was like, okay, smart man. So absolutely, you should go watch that if you want to like understand a little better how to do these types of games. Secondly,
yes, more
Dodger coded. So for those of you who are into sort of MOBA stuff, let's say you play a little too much League for reasons that or whatever, you're doing things. I did do a brand deal, but I love this game, so I'm going to shout it out anyway. Sirocco is a game that if you played, early access is next Friday. But if you played any of the old Warcraft, Battle.net, ship MOBA, where you were a boat, this is that game.
How do you spell this?
Sirocco.
Sirocco, yeah.
Sirocco.
And so essentially, this is a MOBA, but with boats. It's a boba, a mobile online boat, whatever it is. It's great. You have, I don't know, I think like 16 boats to choose from. And each boat is just like what you imagine a hero to be. Different abilities, different things. But also you have captains. And the captains allow you to change the way that you play with upgrades. So each time you level up, you get additional things you can do to your ship. Then, not only can you change things about your ship, you can also change things about weapons. So you have your, your QWE, which are your special MOBA, kind of, your buttons. But then you can upgrade, and you have kind of a Vampire Survivors you have attacks that just attack by themselves.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you don't have to constantly be planning what to do with your, your QWE. Those are bonuses, but you have other things. So a great example is you can make one build where you get this boat that is like right in your face. It's all like, can take hits. And then you can determine whether you want to, based on how you play, have long range stuff on it. So as you're approaching them, you're still firing with your Vampire Survivors attack, right? Or you could do mid range, so it's a little bit stronger, but as you get closer, you're doing that. Or you can do all short range. So when you get up right next to them, you're unloading your short range attacks, but also you have your one that shoots all your cannons at once, which is, I think, one of your QWE things. You have one that shoots a thing up in the air, and when it lands, it does damage based on the percentage of your health, right? There's all these different things you can do for that one ship. There's one ship where it's, kind of like a party barge, and all you do is heal and shoot fireworks. And you can do that. But you can also, for example, because I knew it was a healing ship, I was going to stay in the back. So I got all long range attacks. So I'm shooting long range things at enemies that are trying to get close to me, but I'm like always running from them, still hitting them. But if I need to, I can go to where people are and immediately heal them. And then you have the captains, and the captains give you different abilities. So for example, one captain would give you like more HP, but you move slower, that kind of thing. And then as you level up, not only are you leveling, putting points into your damage or, your ship that you have or different weapons and unlocking different weapons, you also get buffs from your captain, and those can change the way you play as well. It's multi-layered. I had so much fun playing this game. Absolutely loved it. I was playing with Sohinki and Sinvicta, and we were having a good time. Played with a bunch of other, we did like a whole thing. It was great. I absolutely love when it takes something that I like, the idea of like a vampire survivor, and throws that in a thing that I'm like, MOBAs, they drive me crazy all the time. They drive me crazy.
You know what? This is interesting. It all comes back to that game A, game B, right?
Yeah.
It's the game A, game B marriage, and sometimes it works, And sometimes even if you're like, I want game A, but it's got game B, it's like, oh, maybe the aspects of game A make game B more bearable. And it
does for me. Yeah. It means that I don't have to focus on constantly making sure that, like, all my cool abilities are hitting and I'm doing all this stuff. And because you can change out those weapons, you feel a little bit better than, in League, your guy's just going, yeah, until you cast an ability. It looks like you're doing things and things are happening, and you can upgrade that. So it isn't like your normal basic, I'm hitting you with the laser beam attack. It's like, yo, I fire these rockets, but I also shoot flak at you. Or I put down goop on the ground when there's all sorts of things to do. I love that kind of stuff. It makes me feel like there's options in a way that you don't really have in a lot of games. So I was a big fan of that. That was neat.
You guys remember Kantai Collection?
Sorry,
yeah,
what?
Of course.
Yeah, the Kankol, the ship girl game / anime. Yeah. The second, Jesse, that you were like, the ships, they're kind of like characters, I immediately started imagining them like the ship girls from,
like hot women,
hot ladies with like weird ship parts attached to their bodies. Yeah,
I keep forgetting that was a thing. They did it with planes. They did it with all sorts of. You know what? If anything can be made into an anime girl, it probably has been done before.
That's true.
Pixelated horses.
Speaking of, a new horse race test did just drop 45 minutes ago. Yes, man. Yes.
Don't tell me who won.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Okay. Just so you know, it did drop. Yeah. But anyway, no, that's cool. That sounds awesome. I love when they mash up games like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's sick.
There's a demo out. You can play the demo. I don't think I think you would have to play with other people in the demo, but you can also just play against bots, but there are no actual bot ships. It's just the lanes coming at you, but you can learn, and that's fun. So, but May 2nd, I believe, is when it actually drops.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Are you guys doing anything else that's exciting or fun? What else is going on?
I'm literally leaving the country right after this.
Really? Like after this?
The minute we're done, I'm getting in a car.
Hopping on a plane.
Hopping on a plane.
Nice. Well, have a safe trip. Where are you going?
That's dedication.
I'm going to a land of fins and potential video games. That's all I'll say.
Okay, that's cool. Nice. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna go in a sauna?
I don't know. Probably not. I'm literally there for like a few days and then I'm back.
Oh, okay.
It's not that crazy.
Right. Of course. Nice. Well, that's awesome. That's sick. What about you, Dukes? You were just here.
I was just there, and I was gonna go to the land of fins, but we couldn't sort baby stuff. We couldn't sort child things, so that's okay. I jet set it a little bit. It's nice to be home. No, after this, I'm gonna read the Nine Souls prequel manga. I'm so excited.
Okay. Wait, wasn't that a Nine Souls? Was that a Metroidvania thing?
Yes,
wasn't it?
That I loved. And they put out on the 23rd, I think they put out a thing being like, hey, we made a prequel manga. So here it is. Here's the link. And I was like, shut up. But I haven't read it yet. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's what I intend to do. It's also my kid's birthday this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. Yes, I remember being screwed out of that money.
We were actually just talking about that.
We were just talking about that. Yeah,
we were talking about that when she was here. I have to give her that bunny plushie that she liked in my car. I saved it. I took it.
Yeah, you gotta come visit.
I do. I saved it just for her. But yeah, that's so sweet. How old is she gonna be now? 7?
7.
Oh my god.
7 years old. Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
What a time we live in.
It's wild.
Yeah.
They're old enough now that like the parents are texting me like, can I just drop my kid off? And I was like, I guess they're old enough now that's like it can just be drop kids off and run away parties.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess.
I think the best part about seeing Clark was that I could just immediately make her laugh by saying anything from the Minecraft movie. That felt like some sort of weird superpower where I could just be like, Ender Pearl, and she'd be like, like, this is so easy. Man, I wish my chat was that easy to make.
You know what's funny though is we completely, I think I told you this at the time, but we completely missed out on the chicken jockey thing.
Chicken jockey.
What do you mean you missed out?
We went to see, like, they said it, and we went, that sure was a line that was said by Jack Black.
Oh, you mean like nobody freaked out in your movie theater?
We saw it early enough, I guess, that it wasn't a meme yet. So he was like, chicken jockey, and no one made a peep. And we certainly didn't, because it's not that exciting of a line. I'm so sorry.
I wanted to go see it with my friend, but I got sick. And I was like, I missed that golden window where I know if I went to the theater and he said it, people would like go ballistic. Yeah. And the
window's closed now. They have big.
No. It's over. It is over. Yes. You cannot do it. You will be viewed as a crazy person.
I was so confused when people were like, "Oh my gosh, chicken jockey!" I was like,
"Chicken jockey."
That was a line.
I'm so curious about this movie now in the production of it, because I've learned some things. One, originally Jack Black's character is supposed to be Matt Berry. So already I have that in my head, like, hold up. Yes. So I have that. And then I wonder, did they ever change the script? Or was their original line like, it's be Matt Berry, but chicken jockey?
Chicken jockey.
Yeah.
Chicken,
sort of a thing.
Jockey. Yeah, like, is there a whole, what would that have been? I have to know.
Yeah.
First we mind, then we craft.
I have to imagine all those lines if they were originally for Matt Berry, then or did Jack Black come in and completely change the script?
I mean, they definitely changed some of it because anytime Jack Black is in a thing, they're like, well, we got to make him sing.
Yeah, sure.
But Matt Berry can sing too, so
that's true.
Again. Wait, I'm sorry. That's Stolen Valor. I haven't actually seen the movie. I can't sing any of the songs from Minecraft movie.
Stolen Valor.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it. What was it? I think that this movie. I hope they play this movie another time, like later, like years later down the line, and then everyone can go back and like be like, remember when we were all freaking out about the Minecraft movie? It will be this generation's Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Blocky Horror Picture Show, if you will.
I hate that.
No,
my favorite takeaway is that Hollywood said this movie is a massive, huge success because of the amazing scripting and the passion that went into it.
Wrong idea.
They're absolutely making a second one, and I don't think they understand why this was successful. And that's so funny to me because it's the exact same vibe as when they were like, guys, should we re-release Morbius? We should.
Morbius.
We should do that. I don't think they understand, and I love that. It's one of the funniest things about this entire situation where it's popular, but I don't think you understand the reason it's popular, and that's very funny.
But so the thing about Morbius was that had a weird reverse effect, right? Where like everyone was talking about it. So they're like, well, this movie didn't do well. Maybe if we release it again, since everyone's talking about it, they'll go see it. And it completely just stopped it. But now the thing is, the Minecraft movie made like $1 billion. So it's like they got the wrong idea and it made a bunch of money. So it's like, no, you don't get it. Now they're just going to write another script that's just Jack Black looking at the camera, saying things from Minecraft for like 90 minutes.
Dude, they absolutely said, we are rushing out the next movie. Like,
that
is so funny to me.
2, all 2025, mark my words. It's coming out this year.
It's so funny to be like, we gotta get this out, dude. The people love it.
It's gonna be Jack Black dressed as Steve in an empty room looking at the camera, just saying stuff like iron bucket. Gold bar, like just that for literally listing the entire object index of Minecraft for 90 minutes.
That's an SNL sketch. That's an SNL sketch.
And you know what? It's going to make $2 billion. So like, okay, wait. Hold on. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. That would actually be awesome if they did that. And they released that in theaters, I would go see that. I would like go in a suit and tie to see that movie.
Now, here's the question though. Should they release a trailer as though that's not what the movie is?
Oh my God. Yes.
The fake trailer?
Yeah.
Yes. They need it to be hyper serious, like in a world.
Oh my God. Okay. Wait. It should be a shot for shot, but with the actors that were in the Minecraft movie. Shot for shot remake of the second Joker films trailer.
They should just remake shot for shot the Joker film, the second movie, but in Minecraft.
In Minecraft. And
release it as a feature film.
Yes, man.
But it's just Jack Black doing a Let's Play.
Oh my God, Jablonski Games.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy, dude.
I want that.
Yeah.
I'm sad now because we'll
oh
never
my
get
God.
that.
And then it could be like Lady Gaga. And then she shows up and does like a dance. And everyone's like throwing popcorn. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. This is a lot. We stop talking because we're giving them free ideas and we got to get royalty checks for all this.
That'd be amazing.
Oh my God.
Like the problem is that I think they're gonna lean too far into like, well, they loved it when he said chicken jockey, so this time let's make Jason Momoa fight 2 chicken jockeys, and he's gonna go chicken jockeys, and then there's gonna be 2 of them, and that's gonna be in the sequel, and they're gonna expect everyone to freak out, and they're like, no, we need something new.
Oh my God.
It'll exciting.
It'll be Wayne's World, right? They'll be like, what made everybody love the movie? We just have them do that over and over again.
The trailer is literally gonna be like Minecraft 2 times the this, 2 times the chicken jockey, and he's like chicken jockeys. There's like 1, 2. He's like 2 of them.
Yeah. You know it is. I'm telling you, fall 2025, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's no escaping it. They're filming it right now. They paid Jack Black $70 million to come back and just do Minecraft too.
Oh no.
Yeah. Nah, make it happen. I want to see it. I'll see it. Fuck it. The last 5 movies I've seen in theaters are so embarrassing. I need to go see like a real movie.
Rattle them off.
Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Morbius, Sonic 3, Borderlands.
Yeah.
You really have seen some truly awful movies in the Sonic movies. The Sonic movies are fine.
Sonic movies are
fun. The Sonic movies are fun. The Sonic movies are fun. I saw Borderlands once in the theaters, and then when I was at TwitchCon, I made everyone watch it because it's so bad. But that's different. That's different than
everyone needs an Octo in their life to do that. To be like, guys, we should watch this movie, please,
because it's so terrible. So the funny thing was when I was going to see Sonic 3, I was going with my friend. Dudes, you know Gravity? Gravity Dusty? She's Gravity. We went to go see it. And the whole time I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we like listened to Sonic music on the way there? And I was listening to it, and we listened to Open Your Heart, and I was like singing, and I was like, but I'm not a Sonic fan, by the way. I'm like not. Because the thing is, I'm like not a big Sonic fan. But then we like listened to All Hail Shadow, and then we listened to City Escape, and I knew all the words, and then like I knew all the references, and I'm like, but I'm not a Sonic fan. I'm not. I'm like not a big Sonic fan.
Here's the problem, Octo, is you are cursed with a beautiful brain that makes it seem like anything you have been moderately interested in is something you were obsessed with for a year of your life.
Yeah. Okay, so like I just
store so much in here, and you're able to just open the door at like, any moment.
It's not important or good information.
It doesn't matter.
It's not good. None of it's important. I just happen to remember it. It's like I went home recently and saw some friends from like middle and high school. And I mean, I hadn't seen these people in 20 years. Right. And I was talking to one of them, and he was like, did you ever come over to my house? I was like, yeah, I came over to your house because we played Yu-Gi-Oh! And he's like, did you ever meet my like kid brother? I was like, yeah, I remember I talked to your parents about James Dean. And he was like, what? And I had not spoken to this guy in 20 years. I went over to his house one time to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With him and his kid brother, and I talked to his parents about James Dean movies. And like, that's it. That's all.
It's locked in there now.
It's in there. I don't remember why I remember that, but I have a weird memory for stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, I'm not a Sonic fan. The conclusion of that story is I'm not a Sonic fan.
I know the lyrics to every single Sonic song, and I've seen every single movie, and I've played all of the games, but I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Really?
I'm not a fan. I did have to play like 15 Sonic games in a month. Like in 2022.
I was about to call you out on this. I was waiting patiently to be like, wasn't there not a time you played through every Sonic game?
It wasn't every Sonic game, but it was a good amount of them. I played probably like 15 of them, and I played some real stinkers.
I was about to say, I watched you play some truly terrible Sonic games.
Did you watch me play 06? Because I definitely had to play 06 on stream, and that was a lot.
I don't remember if I saw I remember you playing one of the ones that was like 3D where you had to like go and I was like, this isn't Sonic. I don't know what this is, this isn't Sonic.
It might have been Adventure 1 or 2, because I played Adventure 1 and 2, and I also played Sonic Boom. And I played Sonic 06. Those are all the 3D Sonic games. And then I played a bunch of them. And then I had to play Sonic Jam for the Game.com, which is a system that you probably didn't know existed, but there's a system called the Game.com, and there's a game for it called Sonic Jam, and it's just like a really bad version of Sonic 3. It's terrible. But I had to play a whole bunch of stuff, and I learned a lot about Sonic. I learned a whole lot, whether I liked it or not.
Proud of you.
Yes. Thanks. Thank you.
You know, here's the thing that's crazy. I believe you when you say you're not a fan of Sonic, because I also know that you're not a fan of Minecraft, yet you know so much Minecraft stuff. And I think it's because you set yourself up for torture frequently. And
what do you? I don't think
what do
that's
I mean?
necessarily true.
I watched you do 10 hours of you watching the same Minecraft parody song over
I did
and
that.
over and for 10 hours, dude.
I did watch the Minecraft creeper song for 10 hours. I did do that. That's true. And I don't think, you know what? I don't think I remember the lyrics, which is kind of insane that I don't remember the lyrics of that song. Give up diamonds, craft some diamonds, something. Give I don't know. I don't know. Remember
if you're wondering,
you think I would.
If you're wondering why, because he said, I'll do this if you guys sub or something. And so people are like, okay, asshole, sure, bet. And they did.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah, they did. They showed up. They came out. Sure did. They definitely did.
And so I sat there watching this guy lose his mind watching this creeper song.
Yeah. I also had to read the entire movie script in a beat.
I was going to say Octo has done some truly unhinged stuff.
I mean, that's not even that bad. Like I do
Octo, you had like a full year there where the B movie was kind of like holding hands with your channel at all times.
I had to tone that down because it got so bad at one point because it was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes long. But yeah, it was. I do know the entire opening of that still because I had to say it every time they did it, and so I had to. But I feel like the B movie thing has run its course now. I feel like it's. You like jazz is out, chicken jockey is in. All right, you got to adapt with the times. You know what I mean? True.
Speaking of adapting with the times, as a man who doesn't like Sonic, what is in your bathroom right now?
Okay, that you cannot bring that up. That's not fair, Jesse. That's not fair.
First off, it is fair. Second off, it's very fair. Please,
what's in your bathroom?
It's not.
Yeah, what's in the bathroom,
That was a
Octo?
joke. I have a bath mat in front of my toilet with Rouge the Bat on it that says "Pissing all by yourself, handsome," and that's not fair. You can't bring that up. That doesn't mean I'm a Sonic fan.
Oh no, not the baddie in the bathroom. Come on. That's crazy.
Wait, I have a picture of it. Hold on.
It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't believe you have it. Octo's house is like a menagerie of horrors. Like internet.
Octo's place is amazing. It's
like internet so memes everywhere. It's so funny. I
do have the crucified Funky Kong hanging up in front of my door. Here it is. If you hadn't seen it, here's a picture of it.
I can't believe this exists.
Yeah.
Wait. The only thing that would make it better. Well, no, never mind. I was gonna say it should be facing. It should be. If you're sitting on the toilet, you can read it. But then I remembered that like potentially you're standing.
Yes.
And looking at it. Yeah. Yes. So that makes sense.
My favorite part.
I will say.
Is that it says "pissing all by yourself"? Hanosom. I don't know.
It's the font. It's the font and the way that the stuff is like. Yeah. So my favorite part about this rug is anytime I have guests over and they use my bathroom, I just hear what like come from the bathroom. Erica Lindblad, bless her heart, was playing Magic. She came over to my apartment and she was playing Magic. She's like, "Oh, I gotta use the bathroom really quick," and she goes, "Hey, Alex, what is this?" And I was like, "Oh, my bath mat. Yeah, I got that."
Yeah.
Now, if you were a Sonic fan, that would make sense. But you saying I'm not a Sonic fan.
I'm not a Sonic fan. I don't see why having a bath mat. Listen, objectively, Rouge the Bat is hot. Like, you can't argue with that. Sure. She's a baddie for real. She's got the horror lids. And so, like, that, I don't think having that makes me a Sonic fan. It doesn't. I mean, maybe it does. What do I know?
Are there other versions of that bath mat?
Yes, there's one. There's one with Shadow the Hedgehog where he's holding the gun and it says "nice cock." That's the other one I thought about getting.
That's amazing.
Yeah, shout outs to Kyle's Rugs on Etsy if you want to buy one of your own.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I do. Kyle's Rugs.
Oh shit.
So once upon a time in Hollywood, but not in Hollywood here. I really wanted to just commit to a theme for the guest room. And I landed at a certain point on Shadow the Hedgehog.
Ooh, okay.
And I wish there was a place I could put that, but alas, there's no toilet attached to that room.
Here's the
Kyle's Rugs isn't selling anymore.
Yeah, he's taking a break. He sometimes like goes on break because he gets backlogged. There's the shadow one if you want to see it.
I can't believe that. Yeah, it's tough. He gets backlogged.
Yeah, he gets so many orders for the pissing all by yourself handsome one that he has to like go on break and he can't accept any more orders.
The amount of 5-star reviews is so funny. That's unreal. Oh, he also sells joint rubs.
You can get it as wall art.
Yeah. Also, listen. Everyone's like, okay, did you make a Sonic OC? I did, but as a joke. Okay.
No, all right, come on. No,
like it's a joke. His name is Weed the Chameleon, and it was a joke. He was a joke character. I didn't really make a Sonic OC.
Hey, Octo, really quick, what are your thoughts on Homestuck?
Don't do this to me. That's mean. You're mean to me. What about it?
I just feel like, a lot of you denying the truth of your nature. And I don't know. I feel like you don't need to. I feel like you should just
listen. It's a perfectly fine webcomic that has a very specific audience type, and it's
what kind of audience type would you say?
Octo, do you want me to save you?
No. You know what? No, I can do this. Okay. I would say that the audience type is people who grew up mostly with online friends and mostly participating in online communities. And I think that's what really attracts people to that comic is people who have a lot of online, they spend a lot of time online and interacting with people online. That's awesome.
That's real answer. That's a great answer. So what would you say about the people that then create content and like do voices for Homestuck?
Yeah. What about them?
Like they just get really in. Like, are they into it, or are they just not fans? Like, what would you say? Those are the hardcore fans, people who like produce videos and make stuff about Homestuck.
The amount of people who came from making Homestuck content and are now in the creator space or in like the acting space is very staggering. You would be very surprised. There are 2 people in the Persona 3 remake that came from Homestuck fandom, and which is very funny.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's very funny. The voice actor for Mitsuru and the voice actor for Aegis are both huge Homestuck fans.
It's like shaking hands with people that were really big in fan fiction communities and now have like best-selling novels.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, no, I mean, it's like, because I've never actually made, the thing about the Sonic stuff is I've never actually made any Sonic content before, other than the streams, which don't count. I've never made any like outside Sonic content. Fine, it's fine. There's some good Sonic games.
Are you sure? Because I seem to recall you playing 15 Sonic games.
It was like 17, but yes.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
You've played more Sonic games than I have, and I adore Sonic, so.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say it.
Is this like an intervention? Am I having it? Do I need to like come to terms with the fact that I think Sonic is pretty cool?
Sorry, I didn't say that to try and like dogpile with Jesse. I said it to be like, I think that regardless of how many of the Sonic games you've played, you can be like different levels of interested in like Sonic.
Oh, sure, right? sure. Just like with Homestuck, like you read it online, or you could do an hour and 16 minutes of Homestuck live at the Requiem Cafe.
Is this what you want? Is this what you want, Jesse? Is this what you wanted me to do? Is this what you wanted? Look, I'm going fast.
He's so fast, Sonic. He can really move, Sonic. He's got an attitude, Sonic. He's the fastest thing alive.
Sorry,
oh my gosh, he's so fast.
Really quick.
Well,
I'm so fat.
I realized I am not a Sonic fan for sure because what you just sang, I've never heard in my life. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you just sang.
That's the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog theme, right?
Yes.
Not never that I would know that because I'm not a Sonic fan. Because I wouldn't know that.
I have no idea what that is. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Thank God Octo's here to tell us because he knows all about Sonic.
Jesse,
I know.
Do we have any news that we should cover before we kick it?
The most important news, 2 newses. 1.
Yes.
Something weird is happening with the Rusty Lake team. I think something's coming next week. I don't know.
Oh.
So keep a lookout. Very excited for that. And 2, Monster Prom is out right now. MonsterCon. Monster Prom 4, MonsterCon is out. It's available right now. That's the only news that matters. Pick it up. All other news doesn't matter. Who cares? Not important. It's only about Monster Prom. Get MonsterCon right now. Go get it. Don't be a fool. And if you don't ever play it, what's the matter with you? What do you not enjoy fun? Are you a not fun haver?
Can I say a little Easter egg?
Sure.
For MonsterCon. So there's a secret ending for Liam, and it references JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And they had the lines were written. I don't know if these are in the game because it's like in the style of Dio, which so they gave it to the perfect person because I knew exactly.
I was just gonna say,
yeah. They like probably could not have given that to a better person, but I said them both in English and in Japanese, and I did them twice. So I did them once as Liam, and then once doing my best Koyasu impression, who's the guy that voices Dio in Japanese. So amazing. I don't know which one they used. They might have used both of them, or they might have been random, but I would love if they used the Japanese version because I think my Koyasu is pretty good.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the little Easter egg. We'll see. You'll have to try and get the secret ending there.
They really did give that to the perfect person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I literally don't think they could have done it any better.
Not that you're a JoJo fan.
No, I am a JoJo fan. That one I'll freely admit. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You've. Octo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For Geekenders today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Where can people find you? Like, if they want to come watch your beautiful blue face, what do they do?
You can find me on my Zanga where I post about my Sonic OCs. You can find me on Friendster. You can find me. I'm an Octopimp everywhere. If you just search the name, it'll pop up. All my stuff that I'm due. You can find me there.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm probably going to be playing. I'm going to check out that Enna Dream Barbecue game because everybody tells me to play it and it's really good. So I want to check
Dream Barbecue?
Yeah, it's a really weird, surreal game that I guess is very, very good. And everybody has recommended me to play that. So that's probably what I'm going to be playing next.
Okay. Fantastic. Jesse, do you have a Zanga or a Live Journal? Maybe a Pixiv account?
No.
Where can people find you?
No, Blogspot is where you can find me.
Fantastic.
Hey. Yeah, Blogspot's the winner. On Monday, there should be a brand new 6 hours of Scary Game Squad for the game Karma: The Dark World. If you want to experience a trippy game that is hints of, I don't even know, like any Christopher Nolan movie, 6 hours, enjoy. And then, there should be over on Cox Clips a bunch of stuff from Expedition 33 and Blueprints and all the different games I've been playing. So that's going to be there as well. And then I'll be back. I'll be here next Friday. So, it really will be like nothing changed. So
fantastic.
I'll see you all then.
Awesome. And I'm Dodger. You can find me at Dex Bonus pretty much anywhere. I can't think of other dead websites to name drop right now, but shout out to our childhoods, I guess. Hey, have a fantastic weekend, guys. Take care of yourselves. And will we be doing an episode this Friday or next Friday, Jesse?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Fantastic. We'll see you then, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Hey, if you wanted to watch this again later because you just can't get enough of Octo, you can find all of our VODs on youtube.com/JessieCox.
True.
And the audio version of this, the pod version, if you will, is pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So however you choose to ingest Geekenders, we're delighted. Thank you all very much for the support. We'll see you next time, gang. So long.
Bye.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for the Geekenders podcast. MegaRan, Jesse and Dodger, what up? Let's go. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow and see what the Geekenders are all about. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast, without a doubt. Yo, another end of another long week. Got a job and a kid, I know that you all beat. So take a second, grab a drink and vibe while we catch you up in just a matter of time. On gaming, comics, whatever you're doing. If you're nerdy like us, then you know you should tune in. Thank you for sharing our world with us. Now follow, subscribe, and turn this up. Yo, it's the weekend. Yeah, it's time to geek out. Let it begin. Go on, stream and shout. It's Jesse and Dodger, so give them a follow. #1 geek podcast.